Hello, I'm Donald McIntyre, founder of Etherplan. We help people discover the best apps and dApps to manage their money on the blockchain. This is Etherplan Live, and joining us today is Chris Kline, Chief Operating Officer of Bitcoin IRA. Hello, Chris.
Hey, how are you today, Donald?
Very well, thank you, and thank you very much for your time in doing this interview.
Absolutely, thank you.
You know that I was very pleasantly surprised when I saw Bitcoin IRA for the first time. I think it was in 2016 when you launched, or maybe earlier. And I think it's a great concept, and I would love to talk to you about it. But before, could you tell me about your background and how you started in Bitcoin?
Yeah, so I kind of go back a little bit whenever I bring my background up. I was born at the digital to analog brinks, I guess, or the threshold in 1985. So I understood the concepts before we had iPhones in our pockets and we could access everything. It was a different life that we lived in. And as I grew into college and then outside of college, I really became heavily into the entrepreneurial spirit that I found in my heart. So everything I did after college was either in a startup mentality or trying to do something differently than corporate America. I came out whimsically with a one-way ticket to California in 2011. And met my now partners and the group that we built. We got started in self-directed IRAs in 2012, specifically with precious metals at first, then LLCs and real estate.
Okay.
And the challenge came across my desk to consider cryptocurrencies, or Bitcoin was only one at the time, of putting that inside of a retirement plan. So just culminated all of that experience of either startup, entrepreneurial, campaign activities, and brought my touch into this space of really trying to bring what was an offshoot type technology and industry a few years ago into the mainstream fold, even before the great run of pricing that we saw last year.
So you were in the IRA account industry before Bitcoin IRA?
Yeah, we had Fortress Gold Group that we did precious metals, physical gold and silver. And then we did LLCs and real estate inside those accounts.
That's amazing. I think that Bitcoin fits so well there.
Yeah, hand in hand, absolutely. The way I look at it is, what Bitcoin is it gives you that all those features of gold, finite, can't be controlled by a centralized government, barter and trade capacity when fiat money fails, but with the speed and utility that we need in today's market space. You can't chisel off a piece of a gold bar and make that economical in today's market space. You need something that has velocity with its money.
Very good. I think that the name Bitcoin IRA is very explicit. It really tells what it is. But can you tell me what is the base service?
Yeah, so it is a self-directed IRA that you have the ability to directly invest into Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Ethereum Classic, and Bitcoin Cash right now. So a client will establish an account with Kingdom Trust Company. That's our custodian that does the self-directed IRAs.
Okay.
It can be any type, Roth, traditional, SEP, or simple. Once it's established, we help you fund that account via either a transfer from an existing IRA or a rollover from an old 401k or pension. And then once it's funded, you working with our trading floor, which is behind me, executing trades and getting direct investment into the assets that you want.
Okay, very good. So let's go over then the product and how it works. So the first step is registration.
Yep, establishing an account. You can do that in two ways. You can just go to our website, bitcoinira.com, and click on our Get Started Self-Serve module. You'll establish an account with going through the forms, and then it'll give you the instructions on how to complete the transfer or rollover documents. You can also take a more analog path and work directly with one of our Bitcoin IRA specialists. They'll get an application prepared for you and send it out by e-signature. Once that's signed, it goes encrypted over to the custodian so that they can establish the account on your behalf.
That's amazing that you have both self-service and managed service. Does the managed service side, if people choose to do that, have an additional cost?
Both have the same costs. And really, even if you go the self-serve module, you're still going to get that human touch. So you're still going to be working directly with our IRA team, our traders, and you'll have a representative to call to learn more about new coins, offerings, etc. But at the end of the day, it is a self-directed account. So we're more of a financial conduit. We aren't offering financial advice or tax advice. The client's deciding the breakdown of assets that they want on their discrepancy. But you always have somebody that you can reach out to, which is different than a lot of the things in this market space today. It's hard to call a Coinbase or a GDAX and actually get somebody on the phone to talk about security, encryption, what things we're doing to keep your coins safe, So it's a nice touch to have that additional analog feel.
In my experience, Coinbase has had more or less 3 to 4 days delay lately to respond to anything. We went
through that too, though. Not to knock them, everybody went through that at one point. We had a significant backlog at the end of last year with the prices doing what they were doing, but we scaled up. You know, any startup, you're never ready for the flood, and then once you're ready for the flood, it doesn't flood.
But it's going to flood in the future again.
Oh, absolutely. We're prepared and we're ready for it. It's going to be a great year for cryptocurrencies this year, I believe.
One more question about the like onboarding process. When I download, say that I do self-service, I download the documents. What are the documents? Is it several documents, or is it just an agreement?
Yeah, the agreement is done automatically without paper, so it's paperless and it's without any documents. Everything that you do on the website is going to fulfill what you need to actually establish an account. What you do need to do is documents in order to fund the account. So if you have an IRA, say at Fidelity or Edward Jones, it'd be an IRA to IRA transfer document where you are specifying to them, I want to move X dollars over to this account. You'd want to get yourself in a liquid position for that amount at your old custodian as well. With a rollover, which is like a 401k, 403b, or an old pension, they're likely going to have either a request for a check, a rollover check that you can do voice confirmation with, and our team can help you, or they have some internal documents that you have to fill out.
Regarding the funding of the account, no, I already have the account, and you say that I can do a rollover from Fidelity, for example. Does that mean that if I have stocks and ETFs in Fidelity, that has to be liquidated and the cash moves and then turns into, okay.
And then once it's there, then you can execute trades for digital currency.
Okay, so there's a liquidation on the other side, then the money is moved, and then there is an investment in digital currency on your side.
Exactly, and it's about the timetable from A to B there it depends on the custodian, but the average is about a week to a week and a half. They have to get the documents, they have to process it, and then actually wire funds, which is why I love Bitcoin, because it's going to speed up the monetary system so much what we have today.
Yeah. And if I don't have an IRA, or if I just want to open a new one, can I send you a check? Can I send you a wire transfer? Can I connect my bank account, just funding direct funding?
That's a great question, because yes, you can do a contribution, obviously, and open a new account. We do have a $20,000 minimum to invest, so that's usually higher than the contribution amount you can do for a fiscal year. It's $5,500 if you're under 50. $6,500 if you're over 50.
Yeah.
But what we did just launch, and we're very excited about, is CoinCash. It is our version of the non-qualified IRA money. So you can open up just like a brokerage account at Fidelity. You could do there. You can do that here with Kingdom Trust, and using funds from your banking account without being in an IRA, you can move them over and get all the features of our system of having a custodian to handle your reporting and taxes. And also having the security of the wallets that we've constructed that are one of a kind and exclusive to us.
What is that service called? CoinCash?
CoinCash. Yeah, if you visit our website, you /CoinCash, or just search on the homepage. There's an announcement about it there, and it's our cash version of our program. All the great pieces we put together for IRAs, we've now expanded that into the non-retirement space.
And is that a white label where other institutions use it, or this is your product?
Not yet, but yes, that's obviously the larger picture, is that we already have many groups that have come to us for that licensing ability. But for now, it's just us.
Okay, well, let's go back to the tax advantaged accounts of the IRAs.
Okay.
So all right, I have my account. I already funded it. I was thinking about management. I saw that something that I loved, which is when I opened the account, then and I guess when I already funded it, I can choose different kinds of portfolios. You have like a weighted portfolio and then a balanced portfolio. How does that work?
Well, it's up to your discretion. Again, it's a self-directed account, but you can do any of the 5 coins in the mix that you're looking for. And then it's not a marriage forever. This isn't like a T-bill that you have to hold for 5 years, or a CD that you have to have for so many years until it expires, or an annuity. If the market moves in your favor and you want to sell off part of your Bitcoin and reallocate into, say, Ethereum, it's as simple as a phone call. You just reach out to our trading desk, and they'll help you execute those liquidations and then those repurchases into other assets.
So you have the suggested portfolios that maybe it's just to begin with, or
Yeah,
I can just
actually the one on the website is the mix that we are actually currently seeing from our clients. So for what you see today, the balanced or the popular is what our clients are doing, and they're relatively heavy in Bitcoin and Ripple right now. Those are the two most popular assets. Just behind them is a tie between Litecoin and Ethereum. And there's a few people that have Ethereum Classic and Bitcoin Cash. They're not as popular as assets as the other top four.
But that means that I could do my own portfolio, and I can manage my own portfolio and change the weightings and all that.
Exactly. And you can do it Monday through Friday during our business hours. We will be expanding that by the end of the year to 24/7 trading capabilities. So if on Sunday, because the crypto markets never sleep. So sometimes on a Sunday, it could pop 15%. You may want to sell off. You'll have the abilities to do that here in the near future.
It says here that call to do the first trade. Can I do my own trading online after that?
After that, then you get added into the trading portal so that you can make trades at your discretion. What we're finding though is clients really enjoy that analog touch that you don't normally get. It's fun to make a call, talk to a trader. It takes all of 4.5 minutes of your life. You can sell off. You'll get some documents to e-sign live on the phone, and then you'll get verified by the custodian. So we take security very seriously here. So everything is documented accordingly for an audit trail, and then verified again by the custodian with a voice verification system.
Very good. Do you plan to have advisors in the future if someone wants to use an advisor instead of self-manage?
Likely what will happen is that advisors will plug themselves into our system. So your money manager or your RIA manager or wealth manager will take a portion of yours and allocate it towards this, and they'll be doing the trades with us and making the changes. Yes, absolutely.
It's going to be like a
pretty self-directed space right now. That's the beauty of crypto, is that it's kind of this revolution of, as much as we love money managers and things like that, a lot of them didn't recommend Bitcoin in 2009, 2010, all the way up until last year, and they're still not recommending it today. So you kind of have to go a little outside that comfort zone and do something on your own accord with this space.
Absolutely. But you are probably have an open structure where people can bring their own advisors, or other advisors can participate.
Absolutely. And oftentimes they'll be a part of the conversation. So once the client gets funded, they'll be a part of, okay, this is the allocation that we're looking at. Here's how they're performing. But at the end of the day, if anybody's trying to tell you that they think Bitcoin's going to do X, Y, or Z, I usually run out the door the other way. Because I've been doing this. I've been actively trading myself personally since 2015, to that late 15. And I still miss. I still make mistakes. I sold off Ripple in December. I bought it for 10 cents, I think, in November. I sold it off at 19 cents. And 3 weeks later, it was $3. So even the experts out there can make mistakes and miss the mark.
As time passes by, when we trade, we have less Bitcoin instead of more. The last question about this, the part of management, it would be if you have, or if you're planning to have charts and stuff like that to people to inform themselves and then trade.
Yes, we have already on our website. There's a learning center, a great blog that has all kinds of details of current news, and it's kind of like we tried to build our own little coin desk of information. And then I'm also a member of the Forbes Technical Council. Technology Council. So I release a piece every month that you have access to. There's learning guides, there's great resources, and then links to many of our past interviews. We actually are really excited. A week ago, we found out we did make the Forbes magazine for February. So we will be in this issue that comes out on February 28th.
That's amazing.
And you can actually go online and see the article now. We don't know if we're going to be in the cover or call out, but pretty exciting times to be recognized as crypto in that traditional investment vehicle space.
I think that the fact that Bitcoin IRA, there was a world of wallets out there, no? Blockchain.info, Coinbase maybe was the best as a hosted wallet, and then many other solutions, from the most basic, which is Bitcoin Core. But when you came out as a Bitcoin IRA account, which has a specific tax advantage, and it's specific for a financial goal, which is retirement, I think that was a very, very good differentiator.
We did have to build something custom for that, because in most wallets you get a single key and you hold that key, so that's the indicia of ownership. But with a IRA, if the assets have to be an arm's length distance away from you to be in the tax advantage setting. So what we constructed with our partners at BitGo was a 3-key wallet system where Kingdom Trust holds one of those keys. BitGo holds another key, and then a third key is held in key terminal recovery services. And that's in the event that BitGo and Kingdom fall off the map in a cataclysmic event. You're able to recover your key and then move your coin to a wallet of your choosing. What clients like about it is it takes out the guessing and the fear and liability of losing keys. Also, beneficiaries. My girlfriend has no idea about crypto and how it works. And my and our daughter, she's 4, she certainly doesn't. But if something was to happen to me, my account is established with a beneficiary program in place so that the keys would be passed down to them in that same setting. So you don't have to worry about maybe having a ledger in your safe and your wife just thinks maybe it's an old hard drive that you don't need and she throws away 1,500 Bitcoin. That would be the worst.
Yeah. So the general structure is that Bitcoin IRA is like the service provider and the product provider. Then you have in the back end, you have a custodian that you mentioned. Is that custodian the trustee? Is there a trustee involved also?
Yeah, they're a chartered trust. So they make sure that we comply with all IRS compliance needs in order for these assets to be held. And then they're also doing your reporting annually. So if you make any contributions or distributions or any changes in value, those are getting reported directly from Kingdom to the IRS.
And the trustee, and then you have Bitcoin for security that provides that 3-key management system.
Yeah. That's our wallet. So
the trustee provides the tax shelter in a way, and also the process enables the process to connect beneficiaries and eventually move the money to beneficiaries.
Exactly.
That's great. That's an incredible solution. I was going to ask you then about the hosted account. You mentioned that the hosted account, one key is held by the user, another key is held by BitGo.
Yeah, one key is held by the custodian. The custodian holds the key. And then one's held by BitGo. And then a third is held by a recovery service called Key Terminal Recovery Services.
Excellent. Final 2 questions. Can you repeat what are the currencies allowed at this point?
Bitcoin,
Ether,
Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Ethereum Classic, and Bitcoin Cash. And we have, I think, 3 more that will be added by the middle of this year. But I won't say any names because I don't want to make any promises or anything like that. But we're in development for future coins as well.
So Ethereum and Ethereum Classic are included, Bitcoin and Litecoin, and then BCH also. And Ripple. And whether Zcash and XMR are going to be included, we don't know yet.
Not yet, but they are on the list. So we'll see which ones. It takes support both at the exchange level in order to procure the liquidity needed for them, and then also at the wallet level to construct a wallet that can securely hold them.
I saw that people can open a Bitcoin, an IRA. It can be a traditional IRA, a Roth IRA, and they can roll over their other IRA, or they can roll over their 401k. Do you plan, other than individuals, to serve the small business market with 401k plans?
We already have one. Kingdom Trust themselves has a 401k offering that they use for their clients or their employees. We're expanding that to our employees this year. And once we get it well tested, then yes. But that's a tough space. You're walking up against the Voyas and the Fidelities of the world. I think it would be more, you wouldn't want to have 100% of your eggs in one basket. So stocks and bonds, mutual funds, they all serve a purpose in a well-balanced portfolio. So it would be kind of an additional tool that they could utilize. It'd just be a matter of those institutions being able to offer it.
Do you plan to offer retirement account solutions outside of the United States?
We have looked into that. Canada has a program, as does Australia in London or England. But at this point in time, we've stuck with the domestic marketplace. It's what we know well. And when it comes to compliance, BSA, KYC, AML, once you exit the borders of the United States, it draws more problems. And so you have to be very well prepared for that. So in time, I would say that would probably be something, but it's not on the short roadmap at this time.
Okay. The good thing is that the United States is the most regulated market, so complex market.
If we can do it here, we can do it anywhere.
Exactly. When a last question, who do you think are your clients, your segment that you're going to in this within the United States? For example, millennials, post-millennials, and how do you communicate? I saw that you have a lot of materials, like you even have like an ebook that explains Bitcoin, Bitcoin IRA, etc.?
So obviously, individuals with retirement accounts is an easy target to find. Our demographics are somewhat stratified. I'd say that our age is somewhere early 40s to mid 60s is kind of our standard deviation curve. Much more women than I've seen in past investment vehicles. So in the precious metal space, real estate, LLCs, the percentage of women actively involved in these accounts is much greater than any of those. It's still low comparative to men, but it's promising to see. Millennials, I think we're going to have a program for millennials ahead is to start your IRA. We're somewhat, there was a national survey that went out last year where 88% of people surveyed felt like we were in a retirement crisis currently in our country. And I could agree with them on that. Since 2008, most people have probably just recovered the losses. They're worried about, am I going to have enough money for a rising cost of healthcare and housing as I continue to age and not be earning income? So getting millennials started earlier and making sure that we're educating them on the importance of not just retirement, but utilizing things like Bitcoin and others inside of those plans. So while we have kind of a niche market space now, I endeavor to say that it's going to expand greatly in the coming years.
It's very interesting. Intuitively, I would have never said that your main market today is Generation X. Everybody talks about millennials and they're thinking about Bitcoin and they're never going to.
Well, they got to pay their student loans off first before they can start investing.
And tell me about communications. You have a guide, you have the blog.
Yeah, we have the guide, we have the blog. You can go online for information 24/7, 365. We also have an entire floor here in Sherman Oaks, California of Bitcoin IRA specialists. Their job is to stay attuned to the markets, keep you full of information. We're always working on new things. We've got a webinar series coming out. I have content that's out on a daily basis. I'm always writing, I'm always sharing, and we're going to continue to expand that. So a great place to start is just bitcoinira.com. And one thing I always tell people when they're looking at cryptocurrencies for the first time or even the second time is don't settle for a soundbite, but also don't get lost down the rabbit hole. Sometimes you can get an analysis paralysis talking about every different coin and fork and technology and pentahash. When keep it a little bit more abstract and understand this is likely the most disruptive vehicle of our lifetimes. I believe this will do to, it's comparative to what Ford did to horses. Ford Motor Company did to horses.
I agree. I totally agree. That's why I think that even if millennials are distracted with other things, they should start putting at least $50 every month or something in a Bitcoin IRA.
Exactly.
Bueno, Chris, thank you so much for your time. This was a great interview, great explanation, and congrats for the product.
Thank you very much for your time, too. It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.